Circlade. Hello everyone, back with more coffee talk too. Just getting my green screen set up, put it down earlier. Forgot to put it back up. That's better. Okay, right. Coffee talk 2. Switch to Xbox. So, sadly my trick and treat, does not involve any of the achievements in this game. That would have been really useful. But it's fine. I've done 9 tricks and 9 treats. Got my badge. I've not managed to do anything else today. I am exhausted as always. So, streaming today? Day 7. I did day 7, I believe. So we should be starting day 8, which is September 26th. Hi, Mr. Cornus. We've sadly gone past, you know, the end of the game in sense of real time. Honestly, if I'd have been more prepared, you know, I would have done this, tried to do like a day or something. I don't know. I did not manage to do that. And reset 40 months! Blimey. Thank you so much for the reset, Mr. Corners. Did that pop up as an alert? I'm not sure my alert thing is working properly. Oh well. Anyway, we are actually not that far through the game. Comparatively, but we are just slowly making our way through, and yeah, we should be loading up Tuesday the 12th September 26th. Tuesday, September 26th. So this is day 8. Today's delivery. Gonna be so good. Don't forget to drink water. Fishy. VR. That is the question. She's a 10 but about to marry a freelancing elf. So she's 100. I love that they got the memes in there. Right, what is the story for today? 7th of July by the Magpie Bridge. She looks so pretty in her rented hemp-patterned yukata. Let's just see. Ah! Okay, so it was just during the Stray stream that my clip button wasn't working. That was very inconvenient because it was the perfectly clippable stream. Anyway, so, she looks so pretty in her rented hemp-patterned yukata. It's such a shame that it was raining tonight. The renting place would charge more if you return the clothing somewhat damp. I felt bad for insisting we dress the traditional way for the Tanabata festival. That mundane thought immediately went away when I saw her, looking as if she came straight out of Makoto Shinkai movies. It was all worth it. If they charged extra, I'd shove my life savings at the lady who owned the renting place. She looked like dreams, and it was worth it. Her with the yukata and umbrella and my heart and all. Too bad that Altair and Vega couldn't meet tonight with this rain. Ah, you remember the story. Good. Yeah, I do listen to your astrology stories, you know. Astronomy, but thank you for being there for my stories, my lady. Under our transparent convenience store umbrella, we shared whatever lovers share under the rain in their own world. The shrine we went to was unexpectedly full, despite being a bit tainted by the rain and the puddles it creates. We had to line up in a small queue for our wishes, but that stretch of time was easily filled with small talk, as lovers like to have. Sorry. She hid a paper when I tried to peek at her wishes. Cute. As if she wasn't going to ask me to hang it on the highest spot of the bamboo trees. Hey, next year can we come again? I might come here again. We were on our walk back to her hotel when she began. Her voice was a bit too soft, sunk under the noise the rain made. I'd be thrilled, but don't you want to use your long vacations to go somewhere you haven't been? Get here. Here the moon looks so pretty. Really? It's raining though. I can't even see the moon. Silly boy. Her grin prettier than all the full moons I've ever seen in my life. We took our time to walk home slowly through the night street, just the two of us. But you know, I'm happy that you think we can travel the world, that we're still us. I knew I shouldn't say something like that, but I felt like my insecurities got the better of me. Ah, pretty boy, talking about rain on the parade, huh? Sorry, couldn't help it. What if it rains again next year? What if we're all sunshines and rainbows like we used to be? Well, you know how you'll tell about the story. How in your tell about the story, if it's raining, Altair and Vega can't meet each other on the Magpie Bridge, then the bridge would be like empty, right? She stepped in front of me, still so close under our umbrella. Then, whatever happens if it rains next year, the 7th of July, I'll be waiting for you on the Magpie Bridge with this umbrella, silly. Aw, that's kind of cute. Okay, right. ... Somehow I feel like it's going to be a long, long night. Or not. Oh yeah, what do we got? We have, what's this lighter? Good evening. Hey Joe. How are you? Not too shabby, I hope? Everything's just fine? You sure? Positive? How about you, sir? How's work? The shift is over, so I'm free now. Nice. That reminds me, Mr. Hyde was here just the other day. Ah, that's right. Thanks for giving him the keycard, by the way. Good call. Oh, excellent. Saved $100. Ah, nice. We saved him a thing. Sweet. You saved me $100. Not a problem. Wait, what? Placement key would have cost me at least that much. With the fines and everything. Oof, pricey. Glad Mr. Hyde was around to help then. Yeah. Didn't think he'd be in Seattle, to be honest. Ooh, but didn't you call him for his spare key? I did. So? Let's just say I had a hunch. It's a pattern to his visits, even if he isn't aware of it. He'll fly here whenever he gets tired of something. Could be about work, life, or simply because he's bored, like with LA recently, or so he says. I see. Never knew he liked Seattle that much. He doesn't like Seattle per se. He likes Gaia. Vampire werewolf romance. Come on. Obvious much. Or there's something that keeps him coming back here. Really? What is it? Take a guess. Ah, well, if I had to guess. Okay, what was this? Come on. Maybe you? Me? I mean, the two of you are very close. And good bonds are hard to come by these days. Is he? Well, he's not someone who's big on attachments. Or so he claims. Is that right, huh? Who knows, maybe that's changing. Because the answer's more or less your coffee shop here. Really? A lot of places with a good crowd and a warm atmosphere. With an excellent host to boot. And you just said good bonds are hard to come by. What's it like? Aww. I'd be truly an honour if he felt that way. But honestly, dude, he's been doing it for much longer than I've existed. Did he tell you the reason for his visit? Yeah, he's moving back here, right? Or at least that's the plan. Yeah, what a nice surprise. Toby's got a few things to discuss on that. Well, it's part of why I'm here tonight. Aside from getting myself a hot drink and this. On that note, I'm so ready to take your order. Much obliged. What you want? So, Andrew told me about this Indonesia ginger drink. Has milk, honey, and a couple of other stuff in it. I think it's called STMJ. I'll have a cup of that. Ginger honey. I don't know what the STMJ part is, but well, we got STMJ. Serve it. One nutritious drink from the archipelago coming up. Thanks a lot. So, what's in it again? That's a hot blend of egg, milk, ginger and honey. The drink's name itself is the ingredients. Susu Teler Madu Jai. Milk, egg, honey and ginger. I wonder it somewhat reminds me of eggnog. Huh, a bit spicier and not as rich. But I can see why Hendry likes it. That's a great stamina drink. Got a new brew pad entry. That's TMG. I'm trying to think who Henry is. The name is ringing a bell. But then names often ring bells. It doesn't mean not actually connected. But it's a great stamina drink. He probably needs it to keep up with Rachel's work. Oh, Henry's Rachel's dad. We've not met him. We don't think we're meeting him in this story. Rachel's the little kitty cat girl. Don't they call me? You're probably right. As long as he remembers to take breaks. Maybe I should invite him for a drink here sometime. What do you think? That'd be lovely. And consider it done. You know what? I don't think Hyde will show up tonight. Oh, why is that? When I called him earlier to confirm, he sounded a little, annoyed. And it's not exactly great outside either. I thought you liked this kind of weather. Him, yes. His car, not so much. That thing won't survive this kind of storm. Now that you mention it, you may be right. I used to drive him in that car back in the day. Did he ever tell you how old it is? Yeah, give me the whole backstory of it. I remember that. It was like he tried to, he wanted to escape his bodyguard, who was Gala, and yeah, there was a whole story there. It was quite cute. Ooh. I guess I'm just surprised he still uses it at all. Car clearly holds a special meaning to him. He was also quite sentimental about it. Which makes me wonder if it's anything to do with him moving back here. What do you mean? He lived here before, right? Yeah. He kept bringing up the past, too. Are you saying his move's motivated by nostalgia? I was going to see homesickness. But I realise that makes no sense. I get what you're trying to say, though. There's a strange longing for times gone by. Considering how fast things are changing these days. Maybe even too fast. Which is ironic, really. It is. Live long enough, you realise the only constant in life's change itself. Things like shifting necessities, curveballs the world throws at you, decay. The stuff we have to deal with indefinitely. Considering our lifespans, you'd think we get used to it at some point. Yeah, but we never do. Never completely, anyway. I suppose the idea of getting used to change is a paradox in and of itself. Well, that sounds about right. No, I didn't set it up for contest. No, just didn't pop up this time. That sounds about right. Nostalgia's like an anchor for dinosaurs like us. Keeps us from losing ourselves to the world's relentless speed. I was gonna go out at some point. You get used to these after a while, huh? Pretty much. I hope someone's come in. TV's on low. Oh, it's the siren lady. There we go. Sorry about the yawning. I did say I was tired at the start of this. I had my COVID booster and flu jab yesterday, so my arms ache. And I'm tired. Very tired. I mean, I'm usually very tired, so I figured it's not going to make that much of a difference, but it was like, actually, yeah, I'll have a bath later, I think, after I figured out what I want to eat. I got a baguette on the way back though, because I went past the corner shop and it was like a scent leer. It was like freshly baked bread. They've remodeled, it looks amazing, but apparently they make the bread on the premises, because when I went in they didn't have any, but I could smell it. And then as I was paying, I was like, I can smell the bread. He's like, there's fresh bread. And I'm like, hang on a minute, yoink. Grab myself a ginormous baguette. Not what I planned to have for dinner last night, but it was definitely worth it. It's very tasty. So yeah, so I had some more of the baguette and a nice ham actually. It's a sandwich at lunchtime. So I'm not massively hungry, which is, you know, a pleasant change. I'll probably do some pastorals a bit today, it's quick. Oh yeah, I'm still tired, so apologies for the yawns. It's not the game is lovely. And the game is relaxing, which I suppose contributes to the thing, but it's not why I am falling asleep. Except I'm not really sleepy, I'm just tired. There is a difference. But yeah. I have so many things that I need to do, and I just don't have any energy to do the things. I've done some things off my to-do list. I was like, oh yeah, I've done the things, and I'm like, and I have more stuff to do because I have to prepare for Extra Life. And that is kind of important because I want to get donations in. So, yeah. Oh, I am sorry. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, and I need to do my donation matching thing. I did the maths. I just need to put the money in. I will do that after the stream. And I still need to decide what I'm streaming tomorrow. I have no particular inclinations. Maybe I'll see what pops up on the trick or treat thing. Do something of that. I mean, if I'm tired, I could just not stream. I will play it by ear for tomorrow. It's weird, it's just because I finished Danganronpa, because it was like, Sunday's Danganronpa, it's all good. And I'm not quite ready to start V3 yet, though, you know, the anime, it was like, oh, okay. The anime explains some things. I don't want to talk about that. But also, I feel like going straight back into that. Maybe I could do some Phoenix Wright, but that was making me actually fall asleep, so probably not a good plan. I don't know. Anyway, that's tomorrow's problem. Oh, hey there. We meet again. Yes, hello. Ooh, let's hide. Excuse me for a minute. Got it. Welcome, Mr. Yonel. Good evening. I'm meeting up with someone. Oh, okay then. How's your car, by the way? My car? Oh, you mean the tyre. There's really no need for concern, as it was an easy fix. Thank you for asking. My pleasure. May I order a cup of Russian tea? Yes. If I know how to make it. Tea. Ow. Russian tea, Russian tea, Russian tea. What makes it Russian? Oh! Something's discarded if it doesn't say Russian tea. Oh! How about that? Oh, it's got cloves in. Russian tea for the lady Russian to deliver? That's a good one. Okay, so, ooh, tomato shell. Which means we got extra... Riona! We got a thing for Riona. Birthday is 18th of September. Oh, so we just missed her birthday. Oh, that's kind of sad. It's an American drink. Yes, of course it is. It's tea with lemon. This is perfect, by the way. Thank you. You're welcome. So who are you meeting with, if I may ask? Oh, it's got to be Lucas. You should know, shouldn't you? After all, you were tasked to give me his contact info. Ah, that's right. So you two did end up connecting after all. We did, yes. But truth be told, I really wasn't sure about contacting him at all. Why is that? Because as far as I'm concerned, there was no real reason for me to do so. Nevertheless, I sent him an email the following night, right after the completion of my final delivery at 3 AM. That's pretty elite. That's what time I went to bed last night. Another reason why I'm tired, I was just like, I was reading a book, and then I was like, I'm not ready to go to sleep, and my arm was aching, and I'm like, I'm just gonna watch TikTok and fall asleep. The falling asleep part did not happen, my arm still ached. And then I was like, oh, I should probably go to sleep. It's really stupid. Oh, sorry. I've rekindled Neko Atsume. The kiddie game. So, I'm just taking photos of the cats that have arrived because I'm still missing like 4 of them, or at least, you know, photos from 4 of them. So I figured if I take photos of all of them and save, then it will at some point be like, cool, well, you got the missing ones and you have photos, because I don't know what the names are. It's just, you have to remember to load it up fairly quickly after you've put food down. Otherwise, you know, the cats will eat the food and go away. So if you leave it too long, that's the thing. So I get it with a lot of GIFs, but I can't get the photos. So it's a case of going, when did I last look? I should probably check. And promptly forgetting many times. But I caught it that time. I know. I'm rambling. I'm very achy. Hence the, I'm going to have a bath later, I think, and some hot chocolate. A little, but surely no worse than forgetting it altogether. But he replied straight away to my surprise. I had no idea it was such a night owl. Or perhaps just an extremely early bird. Right. I wonder if he ever sleeps. That should be a question for you too, miss. Oops. Anyhow, he answered me with an apology. He regretted his rudeness from when we first met, which was another surprise since I didn't think it was such a matter of concern. Well, he did return here the next evening, looking for you. Yeah. It's odd. It's, you know, very slight ache from the COVID arm, but the flu arm is the one that hurts the most. I remember my very first flu vaccination. Well, I remember my first flu vaccination in London. I was working at a company over in like Westbourne Park, and the company had arranged for them to come give us flu jabs. I had flu at the time, and I got a flu jab. It was an odd thing, or at least I think I had flu at the time, or I found out I had flu at the time. Anyway, the point was it was a weird situation, but yeah, it's just odd that the flu jab makes your arm ache. I don't know. I suppose it makes sense, you know, but something. I'm babbling. I hope it's just a 24-hour thing. fine later, but it's been a very long week as well. Like an extremely long week. Like a ridiculously long week. And I can't relax. And that's why I had so much trouble sleeping. Anyway, but he did return here the next evening for you, did he? Yep, he said so himself. I see, how peculiar. And he felt really bad. In any case, we exchanged phone numbers, have been texting ever since. And he said he wants to meet up and speak in person. Which is why I'm here now. I'm still not quite sure it's necessary. And maybe he just wants to chat and hang out. Perhaps. I suppose we'll see. Yeah, so Hyde's not coming tonight. Probably for the best, given the circumstances. As a Yorkie. Yeah, he just wants to take it easy tonight. Understandable. My apologies for these surges. I was hoping that would become a bit more stable as the days go by, but no need to apologise for something out of your control. That's right, you tried everything you could. I know. Thank you for your understanding. Still going to apologise because it, you know, feels unprofessional. How are you doing? How are you doing, miss? Hey there. Did you manage to resolve your issues with children? Oh yeah. Sorry? Oh, I mean the hospital administration problem from the other day. Oh, that. For a minute there, I thought I had a beef with kids I was unaware of. Ah, sorry for the misunderstanding. No worries, that was funny. It's only been a few days, so not much has changed. How about you? Feeling better? Yes, well, I apologise for the way I acted a few days ago. We all have our bad days, don't worry about it. You? While we're on topic, I told Officer Georgie what happened to your car. Would you mind pointing out where you believe the incident took place? Sure. It's quite near the police station, actually. At a muted spot just outside the now defunct library. Oh, the vacant building at the Bourne intersection. Yes, that's correct. I see. So it was originally a library. You know the area? I know of the property, yeah. It's been abandoned for a long time now. But it's a heritage building, so I often wonder why nothing's been done with it. Since it's located in a very populated culture-centric neighbourhood. That's true. There's even an art college nearby. Right? And again, I've always found the street a bit odd. Odd? How? It's just barren. Especially if you consider the area. And the weird thing is, I feel like it wasn't always that way. Feel? Don't you mean remember? No, exactly what I said. It's a feeling, not a clear memory. Strange, isn't it? That is odd. Ooh, spooky! Oh, this is the subplot, isn't it? Beats ghosties. Well, there used to be a flea market there a long time ago. Perhaps that is what you were recalling. Flea market, huh? Last time I drove there, I remember seeing nothing but concrete. Oh, wait. There was a single dead tree surrounded by strange trinkets. Dead tree, huh? Dear, I almost forgot about it. Stuck out like a sore thumb. About 8 feet tall, no leaves. There forever too, as far as I know. That fallen tree was something of a landmark for us drivers. The trinkets you spoke of were actually remembrances of sorts. Remembrances? Hold on, I'm just going to recap a bit here, okay? Sure. Your car was vandalised in the unmetered parking spot in front of an abandoned library on a seemingly deserted street within a busy area that has a large dead tree surrounded by remembrances for some reason. Sounds about right. Except the tree's no longer there. Ooh. You serious, Pops? Why wouldn't I be? That is crazy. Excellent, we can give Georgie's bloody lighter back. Try. Good evening, gentlemen. Hey, everyone. Oh boy. I thought I'd be early, but you're already here, lady. Hello. Joe, for the love of all things holy, tell me my lighter's here. Well, you're in luck, because it is. Hot damn, thank goodness. Would you like me to get it for you now? No, it's fine. I'm just glad to know it's here. Just bring it with my drink later. Sure, let me know when you're ready to order. Cheers. Well, 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 what's up, you all? What's new? What's kicking? Evening, officer. We were just talking about the spot where Mr. Iona's car may have been vandalised. Oh. They got your car, lady? Your car too, lady? Yeah, but it's not a big issue. Still sorry you experienced that. Where did you park your car, miss? I can send you the coordinates if you'd like. That'd be real swell. Got it. On your flip phone! Okay. Oh. Was it within the area you expected, or...? Pretty much. Same location where I parked mine a week ago. I see. You can rest assured we already increased patrols in that area. That's great. But I'm the only one doing it at the moment. That sucks. Hey, what's that? Am I hearing you? Of all people, doubting my skill, Joe? No, of course not. I just thought it means an unfortunate increase to your workload. Ah, well, them's the breaks, I suppose. Anyway, give me your strongest espresso, Joe, and don't forget my lighter. So, coffee, coffee, coffee. Brew. That's an espresso, right? All the coffee. Espresso. Give item. Proceed. Serve it. Now, don't forget it this time, mate. Oh, there it is. Thanks, Joe. Probably think I'm being silly, but what can I say? Except you're welcome. It's my lucky charm. Yeah. It's borderline superstitious, I know. Don't you have anything of the sort? Well, I have good reason to be superstitious. Whenever I don't have this with me, things happen. Hey, Leaky. It is afternoon. Right. Alright, here comes the strongest espresso in the house. Cheers. Perfect as always. Are you ready to order? Might as well. I'd like something desserty, because it's my cheat day. I hate that sort of thing. Sure thing. Any specifics in mind? It's from Moana. It's The Rock. It's Maui. I mean, I'm sure it is on TikTok, but that one predates, I think. Sure thing. Any specifics in mind? Hey, Dan Milo. Thank you for including me separately because you know I don't like coffee. You're awesome. How are you doing today? Would you like to order? Lucas wants something desserty. I'm assuming not deserty. Or maybe he means deserty. I don't know. Any specifics in mind? Wait, well, I saw this video of a Spanish hot cocoa drink yesterday. It was so thick, I thought it was chocolate sauce. You're eating a very late lunch. Oh. Did you go for a really long walk? Or did you just forget? Because, you know, that usually is a thing I do. The name also reminded me of a song, but for some reason I can't remember the title right now. You know, all that sounds oddly familiar. Actually, I remember seeing it on the transition screen. For reals? And I'll have the thick cocoa. It's got milk and a little hot spicy kick to it. Okay. Chocolate. Milk. And... Oh, no, hang on. Spicy. We want ginger, don't we? See that chat, it's too long. The day got away from you, fair enough. The Spaniel crew. Okay, that's really cool. You have decaf. I was gonna say, it feels like you need to procure some sort of drink. Because otherwise the stream is just going to make you feel thirsty. Spanish Sahara. So it is a desert then. 20 spaniels of all sorts running around. Aww, sounds adorable. Here comes a cup of Spanish Sahara for you. The chat won't scroll to the right thing, so all I can see is coffee with a something. On there, I need to look on my other thing. Warm and cozy, like day in Barcelona. Oh, coffee with a churro. I mean, yeah. Probably. Though I would have expected that with cinnamon, not ginger. Anyway. Cup of Spanish. Oh, so that's what it's called. That's what we call it here, at least. Very cool. I'm not sure you'd like a blue hot drink. Oh, I would love a blue hot drink. I have blue raspberry. It's slightly more purpley than blue, but yeah, the blue pea tea is very slightly bitter, but nice. I actually want to try the blue pea and mint. That would be nice. I'm not a big fan of milk in tea these days, and I'm not a big fan of honey. Though maybe blue pea, honey, and mint. I don't know. Anyway, that one sounds nice. There's a really pink one as well. With hibiscus. Then bon appetit. I think this is it. Very tasty. Thanks, Joe. You're so welcome. So, Pops. Just earlier you were telling me about your creepy patrolling experience, right? Was it the same location where the lady's car was? Creepy patrolling experience? Well, I don't know if maybe we should talk about it, because maybe it's just a tad too spooky. Well, I'm afraid it's October. Well, it's not in the game, but it's nearly October in the game. It's October in the real world, so it's supposedly spooky month. Maybe it's a tad too spooky, even for me. What happened? Hey, Jesse. I'd go, because you scared me. But the chat has cut off, because it doesn't scroll all the way. It cut it off, so I had to extrapolate what you said, which then made it less scary. I'm sorry. You made Leaky jump. So I suppose, you know, effect achieved. I am now up to 9 tricks and 9 treats. And it's only the 7th, so, you know, progress is being made. I need to do a Extra Life blog at some point this weekend. Sort out what I'm doing with game codes. Excuse me, I am really sorry. I think that says talk about that. We'll talk about this. We should talk about Extra Life, yes. Well, if Talos 2 is coming out, then that, you know, hashtag for the kids. Maybe, I really wish the chat would scroll better. Voice call. Yes. We could always discuss it on Wednesday as well. Don't know what the plan is for Wednesday. We could also do it outside of a stream as well. I was just thinking ahead, just because yeah. Oh no, I saw you had a race today. It's games with spooky names, like, Gems of... How is... I mean, this is a scary game just because it's so long. But yeah, we should come up with a plan. And... I was going to enlist people to help and stuff, but... Exhausted. Good luck with the race, if I don't catch any of it. And yeah. Anyway, tell them Pops. Let's just get the spooky story, and then I'll get my brain in gear. Or maybe I'll get my brain in gear this week, and then we can have a discussion. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. And all the more reason to talk about it, right? Maybe someone here will know something. Got a point there. You're all talking about the area anyway, right? Yep. Well, I've been patrolling there the past few nights. The street itself's fairly straightforward. It's about half a mile round trip from the intersection and back. There's nothing much there either. Concrete sidewalk with metered parking spots. Fence here and there. And an unfinished construction site with a couple of CCTVs dotted around. No tree? A tree. There used to be a dead tree in front of the old library. Oh, that old dead tree. It was uprooted by the city back in January. Ah, maybe it was haunted or like witches or something like that. Ah. The commercial community decided it wasn't really a good look. So when the city started a massive cleanup project last year, well, they simply voted to get rid of it. I see. Why? What's up? We were actually talking about it earlier, and being a decades-old landmark as such, could there be something more to the tree than just being old? You think so? That's what I think after listening to Miss Riona. Are you expecting something from me, Joe? Huh? Oh, no. I'm sorry if I crossed the line. You just seem to know a lot about it and I don't want to mix up the facts. I understand. But I would like to hear the officer's spooky tale first, if you don't mind. Gladly, miss. Almost forgot about me there, huh? So, anyway, patrolling on that street's an easy task. Only 4 to 5 cars are parked there overnight at most, which makes keeping track a breeze. Sounds ideal enough. As expected, though, nothing happened the first 2 nights, but yesterday was a different story. Whoa. Hold on. Lucas doesn't like the dark. What a stage setup, huh? There we go. Oh, phew, there you go. Lucas really doesn't like the dark. Thank goodness. Sorry about that. Please continue. Anyway, let's having a good weekend. As weekends go. Sounds like Dan and Milo have been having fun. I spelt out spooky with achievements this morning. Got a couple of quick wins on things. Don't really have the energy to sort of go into anything massively complex. You got a restream. Nice. That's always good. I kind of feel like it needs to rain, but it's not raining. I also feel like I want to run around like a dervish or like a cat with the zoomies, but I do not have the energy. Ooh, mystery commentators or just unknowns? Nice. I wonder if they will call you Radical Sniper 99 or Jesse. It's always a common thing when people are like, who's Jesse? Or if one of the commentators is also called Jesse. Oh no, actually I think there was one race where you were racing someone whose name was also Jesse. I don't know, it was funny. Ah, newbies. My tea is called Summer of Love. I realise it is also autumn. I don't care, it's still good tea. Oh, I ache. Preventative jabs, but hopefully this is like a 24-hour side effects thing. Anyway, I'll get a bath after. That'll be nice and relaxing. Then I can decide what I want to eat. Anyway, beside the point, getting distracted. Alrighty. Well, it was nearing the end of my shift and I found nothing was amiss. There were only 4 cars parked that night. 2 spaced across the street and 2 on the opposite corner side by side. My plan was to leave after I walked one last round to make sure everything was okay. And a reminder, you can cover the whole place in only 8 minutes. Okay. Ah, 2 more secret achievements. Cool. I've re-rolled 1 trick because I got to beat him up 1 and I'm like, I do not have the energy to do that. But I'm trying to be good and not re-roll stuff unless it's really bad. But it's annoying because then I also end up on these sort of competitions using up all my low ratio achievements. Because I just want to get them out done. You refuse to re-roll, it feels like cheating. It's not. You've got 5 of them. There are only in certain situations where I would re-roll, and that tends to be when it's genres I just really can't deal with playing. I did the shooter 1, had a bit of fun with Sunset Overdrive, went back to that, did the Moil Rig, and we will keep these. Oh, you will keep those re-rolls. That's fine. Well, I figure they're there to be used, and there's no penalty for using them. In fact, no one would know that I'd used one, except that I just had. I used it after I'd got my badge, though. But anyway. Oh, I'm tired. But everyone is free to play the competitions as they like. I just didn't want to do a beat 'em up. Mainly because I got all my fairly doable ones in Brock the last time I was doing something. I think it was Brock in the random to-do list, actually. So the ones I've got are basically like replay the game several times. So didn't have any energy. Though it took an enormously long time to get my Bright Lights of Svetlov achievement because the game broke on me twice. Brock was an excellent game. It still is an excellent game. I'm hoping at some point to go back to it. Or maybe during Extra Life I'll do that ending. It's just I want to do the ending with all the ads and all the endings. And then the secret ending. Because they would be quite cool. But I have not finished all the endings. I've got about half of them. So I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. I'm very tired. Anyway, let's get on with the story. Okay. At the end of my walk, I took a drag on my cigarette. Smug as I was about to clock out, thinking it was another night job well done. Right? Wrong, as I was immediately faced with the impossible. 3 cars, 2 side by side, 1 across the street. All tyres flattened. That's 12 vandalised tyres for you. In a span of less than 10 minutes. That's so strange. It takes several minutes to flatten just 1 tyre. And that's if you're using the right tools. Right? And that wasn't all. Oh, no it wasn't. Because that was the moment when the streetlights went out and suddenly, all at once... But right after that I heard flurries of footsteps and laughter. We were going further and further away from the scene and yet I saw nothing at all. Oh, are you sure? Did the CCTV catch anything? The infrareds actually managed to catch something. The videos weren't clear at all, so I'm still investigating it. Jeez Louise, Pops! That's way spookier than what you told me in the car. But it's cool though. Heh. Maybe laughing now, but I almost pissed my pants there. You see? Well, whoever they were, they sure worked fast. Right? Anyway, Joe, I think I want another drink. All that talking's making my throat dry and coffee just ain't cutting it. Roger that. What would you like? What do you suggest? Oh no, what? I can make something blue. Tea with ginger and honey. Yeah? Sounds good. Can you use the red flower stuff you have as a base? You mean hibiscus, definitely. Oh, come on, rain, damn it. Okay, then I'd like a red flower tea with ginger and a touch of honey. Okay. Hibiscus. Ginger. Honey. Rock is cool. Tea, jar rosella. One piping hot tea, jar rosella for you. Oh, what does it mean? Jar means ginger, tea means tea, and rosella is rosella, another name for hibiscus. I see, a legit herbal drink. Indeed. Born and raised in Seattle, still a lactose intolerant cop. Spicy, but perfect for the weather. Good call, Joe. I'm happy to please. If that's the case, let me join your patrol, Pops. Because I'm not scared of ghosts. Real beings scare me more. Wait a sec, kid. What do you mean by ghosts, huh? Jumping the gun a little there, ain't you? Huh? I don't know, Pops. Maybe it's even something crazier than that. This is a really serious problem, kid. Don't joke around like that. Sorry. Interesting. You know something? No, not me. But she might. Right, the tree, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. What about it, miss? It's your turn to finish your thought. It's suddenly going to rain at some point. I can smell it. I can feel it. It's not yet raining. Sure, this isn't any use at all, but... officer, are you aware of the story behind that tree? Huh? I recall what you said earlier. People often leave remembrances around it. What do you mean by that, miss? Well, it's because someone passed away there. What? Allow me to explain. I mentioned there was once a flea market on that street, correct? Right. They called it the Ferry Market. Ferries. It was unofficially set up by the transients of the community. Transients being the government's term for unregistered citizens, including all the other uncategorizable beings at the time. Fairies were a part of that. Huh? I remember learning about it. After the war, the government made its first official attempts to sort things out. Organising equitable classifications was thought of as one of the first steps towards civil peace. But it was oversimplified, inefficient, and not speedy enough. Was all that before the Vindication Act? Way before that. Many who couldn't register were basically in administrative limbo. It's as good as like not existing at all. Really, that's horrible. It was the main reason why the ferry market was created in the first place. To ensure transient survival through the changing times. In more ways than one. The market had no real schedule, therefore. The start of ferry would be marked by flowers strewn across the intersection, just so people would notice and come and take a look. Sounds too low-key, no? Because it was illegal, silly. Oh. And that was exactly the problem. The market ran day and night, its format unchanging. At the same time, the economy was slowly reshaping the landscape. People started to spend more, becoming reckless. While the laws were still shaky at best. Then a tragic incident occurred one night. A drunk driver was speeding and went off course, striking a vendor there. The only evidence left of the crime was that tree standing where there was no tree before. Wait a second, what? Why did I never hear about it? How long ago was this? The accident occurred in 1959. The market itself was forcibly disbanded in 1961. Happened before I was born, huh? Yeah, I remember everything now. It was actually quite an infamous case, wasn't it? But due to the nature of the beings involved, most people couldn't help but, well, forget. Huh? We're talking about the late 50s to early 60s here. Post-war media was still quite scarce. And I remember the drunk driver was also the son of a very wealthy individual. They always are. Correct. That wasn't exactly the part that made the case so infamous. It was due to the fact that no body was ever found at the crash site, as well as the vendor being a transient with no legal ID or paper trail. As a result, the court had no choice but dismiss the case. But there was a body, wasn't it? Just not the one people might expect. You mean the tree? Right. When semi-spirited beings like us pass on in the physical world, some may leave specific landmarks behind. Not all can do that, though. Banshees don't do that. You don't. We simply disappear. So if I'm getting this right, the tree couldn't be used as evidence because it wasn't classified as remains yet. The witnesses were in the same boat, no paper trail. So the driver's lawyer took advantage of those loopholes, and that's messed up. You're messed up, Pops. Whoa. Boiling. Take a further look into the smallness. I have a question for you. Yes? You think the vandalism had anything to do with the tree removal? I don't know. I suppose it might depend on when the acts of vandalism began. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, better get going then. It's almost time for my shift. Okay, officer. Don't forget your lighter this time. Good Pops. Right. Stay safe. Will do. I'll keep you all posted. Please do. Let me take his lighter. That goes well. I've got an early shift tomorrow. Just one thing I want to confirm though, if you don't mind, miss. Yes? It's about the fairies passing and how everyone ends up forgetting about them afterwards. I really thought that was just a myth. I guess not. Unfortunately. That is why there used to be memorabilia around that tree. There were efforts by those who remembered to preserve the memory. It wasn't enough, was it? So we'd have the tree. It really makes me question my memory. Many people I might have forgotten. Were there events I missed? It's quite scary to think about. Beings like us being forgotten is inevitable. So no need to feel bad about it. Is that so? Didn't catch your name, by the way. I'm Gala. Oh, Lucas. Nice to meet you, sir. Lucas, eh? Seems familiar for some reason. I mean, I'm kind of a big deal online, you know. But now, toy from the other day had his name on it, right, Joe? Right. Toy? You mean the business card I gave you? Yeah, that. I see now. Somehow you gave it to him instead. I did, I'm sorry. Let me be the one to apologise for that. Joe gave it to me because I was in small trouble at work. Was it helpful in any way? I mean, it's pretty good at easing up anxiety and such. I thought the children would like it, but apparently for them it's a little passé. Children nowadays mature really fast. I really wish they didn't have to. Also, Dad's online. They sure know their trends early. That is true. It's just how things are for now and in the future. Gotta keep up with the world, else you'll get left behind. Anyway, thank you for the idea of having toys around the office for the kids. I'll make sure to have more up-to-date stuff for them. Yeah, glad I could help. Well, then, nice meeting you. Good luck with your future auditions, Miss Verena. Thank you. See you around. Bye, Joe. Take care. You okay? It's getting real late. Still want to talk, but if you're tired, let me know. Have you eaten? Do you want something to eat? You don't want soul food here? You don't? Why your place is always empty? Well, just kidding, Joe. Please don't hit me. Or do you want another drink, maybe? I wouldn't mind one. Nice. What do you feel like having? Something without milk, with a fresh feeling and some brightness to it. It's quite partial to the blue PT. Oh, okay. I'll order something for you. May I? Sure. Joe, could you try this mix? I saw this pretty drink in a video and it looked perfect for Our Lady. Yeah, what is it? It had blue pea as a base, a lot of mint and a splash of lemon. Okay. Blue pea, mint, lemon. What's everyone playing this weekend? Ooh, it's pretty. Here you go, miss. From the man sitting beside you. Ha! It looks nice, very pretty. Oh, it's making me thirsty. I like it, thank you. I'm glad you do. And wow, Joe, it looks exactly what I envisaged. You're a G. I'm happy you both enjoyed that. But man, that whole case earlier though, it's a lot to take in. So about the whole forgetting thing, it really gave me chills. Why? Don't you feel scared of just disappearing in the end? Because I do. That's why I thought I finally understood you too. I mean, the reason why you wanted to become a soprano your way. The traditional way. Oh, care to compare notes? Because I've got to be entirely certain about that myself. Oh, that's what you call huge pressure. Before that though, can I ask a little teeny question? Go ahead. What inspired you to go down this path? I mean, may I have an idea on why you're choosing the hard way, but why a soprano in the first place? Because it's been done before. Pardon? Because there was already a banshee who did it before, so I know it's not impossible. Oh, for real? Her part was that of a sorbet aria. She was not very well known. What's a sorbet aria? That sounds tasty. I mean, she was a secondary character. Back in the early 19th century opera, sorbet arias would be sung towards the end of the second act, usually before the evening ended. Hawkers would use the time to offer their wares for the last time to the patrons, and desserts, hence sorbet aria. Ooh, I see. Like background singing at the end of a show or something. Yes. Things are different nowadays because people are expected to listen to the end. First time I heard her voice was on an old recording of a comedy opera. Still very young back then. She was playing a confused maid role at the very end of the opera, wondering why and how people could act so crazy when in love. But despite her confusion, she thought she wasn't so old that she couldn't find out the reason for herself. It was a funny epilogue to the opera, but hearing a banshee sing such a playful and light-hearted piece was truly an eye-opener for me. Oh man, I bet it was. Sadly, I couldn't find any of her other works, but it always stuck with me nonetheless. So I left my commune and tried on my own. That's really cruel and brave of you to do so. I agree. I've never talked about this before. It's a bit embarrassing. Nah, don't be embarrassed. I think it's super cool. You're just feeling inspired to push yourself beyond what's expected of you, and wishing to leave a mark on this world. Is that what you think? Just trying to follow a path that's been travelled before. It's not always a bad thing, especially for beings like us. You're just being careful, yet courageous. Right, because the path you're choosing to walk on is still difficult. Regarding leaving a mark, I don't know. I just feel maybe you're the same as me. Like, what's the point in being born if no one is going to remember us? Right, Joe? No comment? Aww. Why do you want to be remembered so much? Why wouldn't you? Us banshees see the end differently than most. So care to enlighten me? I can't speak for anyone else, but in my case, I was a kid who grew up in a large family, you see. Like, humongously large. Literally couldn't count on my siblings even if I wanted to. Because they're everywhere thanks to my dad. Not wealthy though, even close. The money situation was always suffocating us for real. But sometimes Dad would drop by to give us some money. Though it wasn't even enough to cover utilities for more than a couple of months. I'd just leave again a couple of days later. Are you the eldest? Nope. But my older brothers had already moved out by the time I hit high school. I was so surprised when my dad gave me the house after he died. Ooh. Which is where my mum and siblings live now. Sorry to hear about your father. No, it's fine. I mean, yeah, it was weird to receive the news of his death from an attorney. he passed away by himself. How it took him a week to find out. Oh. Natural causes, by the way, so, I mean, how did he check out with absolutely no one knowing? Where were my other siblings? What happened to his ladies? It was just so crazy to me. I guess it just kind of haunted me. Haunted how? I've grown up was filled with disappointment over him, you know. I mean, it was the best way possible. My disappointment actually drove me to work hard for my family. I just vilified in my mind, like shaking my fist at him. Got to do so much better than you, sir, and all that. I see. But then I received the news that he left me the house. Like, I know he had no money. The house is probably one of the only assets he had left. So when he gave me the house in his will, all I could think of was what went through his mind exactly. The fact that he had a will at all was probably a surprise for you. Exactly. What am I supposed to think of that? What am I supposed to think of him? Does it even matter anymore when he's already long gone? Anyway, so my old brothers came back, right? They wanted me to sell the house and divide the earnings. Wanting a slice of the inheritance pie, huh? You didn't do that, right? Heck no. That's why I left for LA. So if they really wanted me to sell the house, they'd have to chase after me. Good call. Thankfully, my younger siblings and I are pretty tight. Good team. That's a relief. But that was also why I needed money fast. I needed to send money to help with my family's bills. And of course, so I could stay alive as well. That was why I ended up having to join the production house. The production house? Yeah, it was like a bunch of content creators getting together to make videos every day. TikTok house. I was young and naive too, you know. It was my first time venturing to another state completely alone after all. So I didn't know better how predatory things could be. And this isn't even going to be an entertaining story. If you're uncomfortable, you don't have to talk about it. No, it's not that. I just really didn't like that production house. But I needed the money. Someone there saw my vlogs and invited me in. And as one of the youngest there, I tried to get along with everyone. But you see, we were all creators in the entertainment industry, right? Which means we all had huge egos. So naturally there was somewhat of a hierarchy of sorts. Trying to be all around helpful turned me into the butt of the joke all the time. It didn't discourage me that much, by the way. I mean, I also learned a lot there, not gonna lie. Still. But what ended up destroying my willpower was actually something real close, you know? Myself. What do you mean by that? Well, in a house where everyone wants to be the main character, each of us would need a solid, distinct persona, yeah? Eventually I was assigned one too. Which was supposed to be a good thing, but they wanted me to be the worst version of what I am, essentially. With heavy emphasis on what? A lot of nicknames too, like, hey, baby goat. What are you up to now, Satyr boy? Here comes the party goatee. Mr. Excess. You gonna go fishing again tonight or what? To go out and try and hit on people. We weren't allowed to come back home unless we failed spectacularly or scored. Ooh. I always tried to be the punchline though. Because there were always more views when something ended badly. But it was still the worst because I really had to act it all out, you know. Bothering people for pretend dates, be sort of a dumb duck. I'm going with it. Just for jokes. So all looked fun for the camera. Even if scripted, I never really liked doing it, honestly. Because in the end, all of it just reminded myself of my dad, you know? And I kept thinking, does the apple never fall far from the tree after all? So yeah, the whole thing was just really skeezy. Really sucked. You had it difficult. Yeah. Well, long story short, being tokenized sucked to the end. No disagreement there. Sorry, I swear that wasn't one to talk to you about. It's fine. I actually learned a lot this evening. I just don't want to take up more of your time. So can I just ask you a direct question? Sure. Great. Would you be interested in guest starring on my new show? I realised it was being done the other day the first time we met. I kind of forced my thoughts on you and was just being a general smartass. I undermined your straightforward efforts because I was jealous of your solid resolve. Since everything I did was anything but. But you succeeded eventually, didn't you? You worked hard for it. Yeah, I almost ended up losing sight of why I've been doing this in the first place. Went with the flow, made excuses a lot. To justify the gain, but to what end? So I've been trying to put together a talent showcase for those who need extra exposure. It's going to be a small production thing. It'll be paid, I swear. And not with exposure either. Though it won't be as much at first, because I don't have that much money ready to use at the moment, so... wait, this is a bit sudden, don't you think? No pressure, though. How does the show work? Well, I'm not 100% sure the shape of it yet, but ideally it would have like an interview at first, and a record you singing, bring all the gear, and I'll also be doing all the editing and stuff. It's going to take a bit of time since I still have my main show to do, but I did start my vlogging journey on my own too. So I can bet you the result will still be quality. Your show will tank if I'm the first guest, you realise that, right? If it does, then it doesn't deserve to exist. I don't care about haters, but you do. That's why I won't push you. I'm flattered, but no thank you. Okay. Thanks for considering me, though. Thanks for giving it a thought. Ooh. It's like I've got to go. Okay. It's nothing to do with what you said, okay? Just bad timing. Yes, I get it. Cool. I hope we can meet again like this. If you want to. Maybe. I'll take it. Thanks for your time too, Joe. Sorry if I bored you. Oh, truly, it was my pleasure. Cool. Okay, I really have to go. See you around. Safe trip. Alrighty, see you, Joe. Come again soon. Exactly. I think tonight was the most I've talked in the past 2 years. I'm quite glad to hear that. Thank you, Jim. For what? For being such a good host. You know, not the easiest being to get along with. It's always a pleasure to have you and everyone around. I'll be taking my leave. I feel like I have a lot to rethink. But I'll see you again soon. And we'll be waiting, always. Safe trip, Mr. Fiona. And have a good night. Phew. I think I'm done for the night. I hope everything will work out for everyone. Okay. When this reloads back up. It is a churro. So... Friday. 20... No, Wednesday. I think we... Oh, I think Tuesdays and Thursdays mixed up. Wednesday, September 27th. Lunar cell panel prototype ready for first test. Newcomer progressive album metal band Avathor tops US music chart. World Golem Center Culture Center grand opening to be held in Buton. Okay, let's see. Let's just do a save. I'm just gonna have a quick break. I need to stretch and my tea ran out, so I'm going to get some more tea. Take the time to also hydrate. Grab a snack, stretch, etc. I'll be back in a few minutes. I just sat down and my ankle made a horrible crunchy noise, but I have hot tea. Stretch. Some paracetamol, because I was like, wait a minute, the guy said I could have paracetamol if I was feeling achy. And I'm certainly feeling achy, and I would like to not feel quite so achy. So. Yeah, but no, I just sat down. I mean, I sat down on my ankle, so I mean, it's not like I was expecting anything less, but yeah. It's kind of like, basically the flu jab gives you like low-key flu for like, hopefully just 24 hours. So just feeling all my body parts. Right, anyway, let's see. All the ingredients are stocked up. Let's check tomato chill first. Dinner with my team. Cool. Normal schedule. Taking an easy day because self-care is important. Don't forget to take a good rest every once in a while too, everyone. Is fidget spinner really that? Wow, have you ever had a story that wows you so you try to go for your dreams because you're so inspired to do something or anything? Don't think fidget spinners. But I also don't like using the word lame. What's left on the bar counter? Can I borrow your lighter? Sure, have at it. Cheers, mate. You waiting for someone? Maybe, maybe not. I guess who knows now. Jeez, man. Sorry to hear that. Tell you what, next round's on me. Sure about that? Well, I'll take you then. Take it then. No worries. Sorry about your situation, man. This is a good bar, so drink on. Leave your sadness at the bar counter. That's what they always say, right? I'm into that. Yeah, yep. Come on, here's to a good bar and to unexpected company, eh? Interesting thing you said earlier. Leave your sadness at the bar. You do that often? Here? Yeah, this bar's good. Bartender's kind and they won't kick me out if I drink too much, so yeah. Where do you think it goes after you leave it here? Sadness? Huh. Interesting philosophical question. Philosophical. It's philosophy, philosophical. And that always bugs me. You got there, man. Somewhere far away, hopefully never to come back. What if it does? Then we steal up and order another drink, then another and another until either the sadness gives up or our livers do, I guess. Tough life you've got, huh? Well, it's if it's in the boulder, you know. I mean, what other choice do we have? None, I guess. That's just how it is. I gotta go. Interesting chat we had. Tell you what, maybe this is the whiskey talking, but it felt like hanging out with an old friend, mate. Forget about that person you were waiting for, and hopefully I'll see you again sometime. Okay? Sure, man. I'm always here for you. After all, you're the one who left me at this counter. Right? Oh, that's deep. And, yeah, okay, right. And the weather's keeping quiet. Looks like a good night to listen to some stories. Gala and hide! Ah, my OTP! Oh dear. Good evening, Mr. Hyde, Mr. Gala. Nice to see you two. How did it go at the hospital today? Well, it's fine, except I was a little exhausted. Oh my. Goodness, are you having issues with the children again? No, that's not it. It's just, well, for starters, my furry's giving me a hard time. My fury! I keep on reading that as furry because, well, werewolf. Your fury? Is that the full moon already? Nope, I sometimes get pre-furry symptoms. Pre-fury symptoms? Yeah, it's a common thing for werewolves. A few days before the full moon, our bodies start to prepare for fury. And that changes the way they react to pretty much everything. Symptoms vary depending on who you ask. It can affect our muscles, our appetite, or energy levels. It can give us headaches and a lot of other stuff. Small but annoying. That doesn't sound too pleasant. No, but to be honest, it's not great. I mean, I've been feeling pretty sore and more tired than usual. A bit crankier as well. I know! But I keep reading it as furry instead of fury, because obviously anger is not something I am always comfortable with. Anyway, as a drink that could help you with that? Never found one, but if anyone can come up with it, it's you, Joe. Since Galahad conceived of your fury, maybe it would work pre-fury as well? Maybe, but I think it'd need to be more relaxing. Like a Galahad, but with no caffeine, and maybe blue. Ginger. Right, so blue milk. It's got a little woofy in it. It's got a little woofy. I like woofs. finish your trick now for a treat. Cool. Here we go. A gala tea for you. Did you come up with these names on the spot, Joe? Ah, no. It takes a bit of soul searching to tailor it to the situation and so on. Almost makes it sound like you know in advance what we're going to order. Maybe. Call it our sixth sense. Right, let's see how your sixth sense tastes. Wow, this is excellent. Exactly what I needed. Very happy to hear that. Hyde, are you being passive-aggressive? What's with the long looks, you two? Did something happen? Actually, Joe, I guess I'll just come out with it. I need your help. My help? Come on, I wasn't that bad. No, I was so tired today I nearly fell asleep on the job. What did they get up to? Ugh. Most importantly, it's not good for you. Moping around, sulking, refusing to look at solutions. I've seen you like this and I'm getting worried. There's nothing to worry about. You say that, but you spend entire nights looking miserable. A heart surgeon? No, he's a hospital administrator. No advice I come up with is good enough. And Hyde, I'm barely keeping it together as it is. You should know by now how I feel when Fury's about to hit. I take it you two ended up chatting yesterday after all? You bet we did. After I walked out of here, I headed home and found this one, lying on the sofa, staring at the ceiling. Yeah, sure, Dan. Looking so gloomy it sucked the colour out the room. And it's not the first time either. It's a constant these days. Please help me up him, Joe. I'm at my wit's end. You need a therapist, but I can make you some coffee. Mr. Hyde? Fine. The truth is, I am bored to death. Oh, get that thing. Or I would be if it wasn't for the whole immortality thing. I'm nearing 40 years old, and I've never been this bored in my entire life. 40? Interesting. You usually make it sound like you're much older. 40 years old in vampire years. I'm not saying how old that is in other species years. Eyes on the prize, Joe. Intervention first, gossip later. My apologies. Why are you so bored, Mr. Hyde? My job. What was that? My job. To shout. But I'm not irritated about it, okay? I'm not exactly used to sitting around twiddling my thumbs. But modelling stopped being fun years ago. You did mention something like that last time. You are trying to leave modelling behind then? Yeah. Is there a specific reason for that? I mean, you're probably a toddler, Dan. It's all just so brief. Back when I started modelling, people thought of fashion in a different way. They wanted to keep their outfits for a while. So they had to be elegant, well-made, versatile. Some campaigns that I featured in stayed on billboards for months. And I knew the clothes would last decades. In a way, it felt like I was building a bond with their wearers. I endorsed something that would feature in their cherished memories. But then social media came and it all became disposable. The clothes themselves, of course, but the models even more. They shot a campaign, the brand posted online, and it gets attention for what, 10 minutes? And another campaign comes in and everything's forgotten. Blink and it's gone. There's no bond to be built there. Isn't that changing these days though, with slow fashion and the like? That's true when people are getting into vintage clothes too. I salute that, but the reality of my job remains the same. What are your fans? I have so many people following me. You mentioned that last night and my answer hasn't changed. They follow me because they think I'm pretty. True. Being admired is nice, but it doesn't constitute a bond. So you seem that you'd like to leave? More of a mark? Ah, you should talk to Lucas. Maybe so. It would be nice if I did some things that people remembered, became a part of their lives in a real way. You do know you have people in your life in a real way, right? People who always remember you. That's not the same thing. Maybe you should study become a doctor or something. That will make a real difference. No, thank you. The job still needs to be fun. studying for 10 years just to exhaust myself in 14-hour shifts. Did you mistake me for a hard-working vampire? Do you see what I'm dealing with, Joe? It does seem to be a thorny issue. Maybe you'd like to monitor with a drink in hand, Mr. Hyde. Yeah, that sounds good. Just make me something I like. Anything you've seen me enjoy recently or when we first met? Veteran, not working in hospital. Vaguely remember, like, in the first thing, it was always like coffee, something. Maybe that'll work. Here you go, Mr. Hyde. You seem to crap. You seem to like this well enough. Nice, Joe. And you lost your bet, Hyde. I bet. When Hyde was wallowing in self-pity yesterday, I told him many people cared about him, and I bet you could remember what he liked, even if he gave you no instructions. So now I get to say that I was right. And Hyde gets to buy me dinner. At a place in my chimney. I'm going to pick that horrible steakhouse again. You know it. Have you won other bets in the past, Mr. Gala? Let's see. You say it, Hyde. Let's find every single one of the bets we've made. Wow. Yeah, I'm this close to being able to buy a new TV with the money I'm saving on food. Just to rub it in my face, won't you? Oh, hi everyone. Hey, Laura. Hi, Laura. Busy night, I see. Hi, Miss Laura. Busy and lively, just the way we like it. That's good. And I'm really glad you're here, Hyde. I wanted to apologise for the other night. I was so excited to see you, especially since it had been a while. But we ended up fighting with Bailey's instead. Must be getting bored of our arguments. Hey guys, oh god, Lucas, are you drunk? Hi, ooh, hello. In fact, I've been blood sober for 10 years now. Currently doing my life. Model, stock trader, entrepreneur, venture capitalist. He's been bored of our arguments. It's alright, they're kind of fun to watch. How are things with you two, by the way? Just let me order before I answer. If that's alright, Joe. Of course, what would you like? I've spent the whole day talking in meetings and presentations, so I have a bit of a sore throat. Anything you'd recommend for that? Honey and cinnamon. Definitely. Oh, lemon, honey and cinnamon? I would personally recommend. But I don't think that other people just literally have lemon, honey and cinnamon in a glass with some hot water. I do that when I've got a sore throat. Usually around Christmas time. It's actually really nice, as long as you like cinnamon. Sounds great. I'd love a lemon and honey drink then. But what I'm thinking is maybe chocolate lemon. Lemon honey chocolate. Because same, I also recommend chocolate for sore throats. I wonder if there's a drink that is lemon, honey and cinnamon. Try that next time. Ooh, no, actually I can't do that. Because lemon, honey and cinnamon are all secondary ingredients. So, it's a good thing I went by chocolate. Anyway, here you go. Some honey to soothe, some lemon to boost recovery. Things start to change. This is truly lovely, just what I needed. That's great to hear. My company's trying to get a big contract, so I've been organising meetings with everyone. Oh, I know this feeling. mine is, you know, we've got the projects, we're just trying to get them done, and there's a lot of projects, and then we need more people. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about. A lot of meetings. I'm knackered. I need like a week off, but I don't have time until after Extra Life. And actually, no, I don't really have time off, but I'll just be able to completely switch off until Christmas, really. Though it's really not that long till Christmas, but then I have to think about presents. Anyway, so I've been organising meetings for everyone, making sure it's all going according to plan. That sounds pretty tough. Yeah, it's a lot of responsibilities and decision making. And part of me likes that, but part of me feels the pressure of it. So it's nice to be able to unwind with a warm cup. Anyhow, to answer your earlier question, Hannah, you probably gathered that Billy and I have been fighting. Yeah, I told me a little bit about it too. Right, well, we haven't discussed the wedding for the past couple of days, and honestly it's done me a lot of good. The thing is, I know Bay means well, he suggests all these things that he thinks I'd like, and I should like them. He's paying attention, not just sending random ideas. I should be grateful that he's trying to please me, but I get annoyed instead. Then I start feeling guilty that I'm annoyed, which makes me even more annoyed. It's not great, I know. It'd be easy if we actually always acted rationally. We only got annoyed at the right people for the right reasons. Things aren't that simple, are they? And that's true. Though I guess if you figured out what actually annoys you, it'd help. That's the problem, I'm not sure. First I thought I was tired or worried. Decision making at my job is taking a toll for sure. It's a bit hard for me to also deal with organising things in my personal life. Okay, taking a stab at this. I sometimes get annoyed when people do nice things for me because it feels it's an irrational reason, but it's like it's I think it's a bit of that, you know, don't feel like I deserve the nice things, and people doing nice things for people is my thing. People aren't allowed to do nice things for me. Yeah, saying it out loud sounds even stupider. But I think that's about the crux of it. Maybe it's a little bit of that whole, you're being perceived, people are paying attention to things that you like. And that's the thing I do, but I try and do it surreptitiously so I get good presents for people. But when people do it to me, or people don't do it to me, I don't know, I get irritated either which way. Either people have paid attention and get me what I want, for like presents and things, or, you know, doing nice things for me that I want, or they don't, and then I get annoyed because they haven't tried and I try. Yeah. But yeah, maybe it's the whole perception thing. That's the thing that keeps on popping up on TikTok. Don't like to be perceived. But also, I'm realising I do really like it when people acknowledge things that I've done. I'm not doing them for credit, but I like it when people notice when I've done a thing and say thank you or something. So maybe I do want to be perceived. I don't know. But I get that it's frustrating when you don't know why you're annoyed because people are doing nice things. It's fine. I mean, I do a stream. I've been streaming for the past, what, 6.5, nearly 7 years? Something like that. Maybe more than, hang on. April 2007, 6.5 years. You know, I've been streaming for the past like 6.5 years. You know, if I didn't want to be perceived, I wouldn't put myself out there to be perceived. Though sometimes I really am tempted just to turn the camera off so I can just be like, I need to be like down here somewhere. Oops. Okay, I accidentally opened the drawer. I'm like, I need to be down here. Yeah, I know the feeling, Nikki. That's why I'm like, I don't like doing presents with people. That's why I tried to be like, since last year. Okay, I'll be not liquid. I'm a cat, don't you know? That's like, last year I went, I don't want to do presents for anyone but family at Christmas. And it was really a lot less stressful. And I want to do the same thing again this year. Only family presents at Christmas. It's just there's a lot, otherwise there's a lot of people to buy for, and that's a lot of stress to get the perfect thing. So then I just have to deal with birthdays, and that's like, it feels like there's a whole lot more time to do that. But anyway, so yeah, let's see what Lewis says. Also, the financial side of it's hard to navigate. I don't want Babe to spend too much money, but he's right that involving my family comes with strings attached. Not sure how to avoid that though. But I'm realising that might not even be the main issue. The more he sends me links to venues and caterers, the more it all feels wrong to me. Oh, Leaky, don't say that. That makes me feel very sad. It's still my birthday. You're allowed to buy me a birthday present. In fact, it's encouraged. I think it's also just because my birthday and Christmas are so close together. That's always bugged me as well. I'd rather get just a nice, thoughtful birthday present than have to deal with Christmas for lots of people. Plus, now I have nibblings. Honestly, it's just about them. You blame my parents for my birthday being in December. Well, yes, it is 100% their fault. That is just a fact. Yeah, no, with you know, my having nibblings, it's like, well, Christmas, you know, okay, people want to get me some presents, family get me presents, whatever, but honestly, I just want to get presents for my nibblings and see how well I picked. I don't know my nephew well enough yet, but I think I've got my niece figured out, mostly. At least she loves the present I got her last year. So I think Laura's problem is not that she doesn't want to marry Bay. What she wants is something simple, just the two of them, without having to rely on parents, so they can do exactly what they want in their limited budget. That's what I think. But yes, nibblings! Exactly. And to be fair, it's also just about the Christmas dinner and the photo. And mostly, I'll be honest, I'm really not a fan of Christmas. It's very stressful. But I do like cooking. Up until when we forget to open the back door and it gets ridiculously hot and my brain starts overheating. Did that last year and I was like, I have to leave the kitchen because I am about to explode. And then I made my brother finish the roast potatoes. Yeah, it's a whole lot of run-up. It is indeed, which is why I tend to like working right up till Christmas. But sensibly, I did take the first week of January off. Because last year I collapsed and basically took it sick. But I figured if I am sensible and take it as a holiday, then I will not collapse, because collapsing is bad. I mean, we ship between Christmas and New Year, but we've got to take our holiday. So I was like, well, I've got to save 3 days for that anyway. Which I disagree with as a whole thing. It's like, if you're going to shut, don't make me use my holiday. Just give us the time. That's what my last job did. But I was like, based off last year, I'm just going to take time in January. Plus, my entire team are off the week before Christmas. So, I'm hoping it's going to be quiet. All the projects should be mostly wound down. I might actually get a chance to make a little game myself or something. Or catch up on paperwork. I don't know. Have meetings with people that are usually massively busy. But actually, no, it's going to be preparing for the new year because there's going to be a whole bunch of projects that need to kick off. And I'll have to do handovers. It's very, very busy. I need to find a better balance. This week has been too much. But mostly because it happened after the 2 days of on-site and I was already in negative spoons without adding in, you know, pretty much 5 solid days of meetings and having to recruit for 2 positions. Freelance positions that basically have to start straight away. For skills that pretty much nobody has because the technology is new. Not really complaining. It's, you know, I'm really enjoying my job and everyone's nice. It's just, it would be nice if it didn't sort of all happen at once. It's very all or nothing, which honestly my brain thrives on usually. But it's very intense. It is a lot. We're trying to rejig things next year so that I've got a little more support on projects, so that it's not everything all at once and all on me. And we're hiring, which I have to do a whole plan for as well, which I've done a plan before, to be fair. Just to write job descriptions. I hate job descriptions. I feel like there's a lot of pressure to get it right so that I don't exclude anybody. Anyway, so yes, don't mean the wedding itself. I want to get married today. The way we're planning it, I don't know. I've been to my friends' weddings before. I've always been browsing the most popular wedding pictures online. But always these big parties, very put together, very classy. They have their whole families over, their friends, their colleagues. They rent these beautiful barns, they hire live bands, they wear designer dresses and bespoke suits. I used to look at that and think, this is great, this is what I want. And that sounds like a nightmare. But now it just feels more and more off to me. Why don't you tell your fiancé that? What if he thinks I'm getting cold feet? Or that I'm questioning his ability to help with the budget? That's up to you how you communicate, isn't it? Right, but it's a difficult topic. I've been through so much, you all know that. This is supposed to be our special day, a way to celebrate our partnership. May wants to honour that. I'll feel awful if he thinks I don't. Or if he thinks I don't trust him. But that's not the thing. You just don't want this big hoopla that feels massively out of control and overwhelming. Because it's really and it's causing you a lot of stress. You want something low stress that is going to illustrate your love for each other with your friends, whose families in this case are a big stress. Heck, if I had control over this character, I'd be like, hey, why don't you have the wedding here with all your friends? And I'll make like fancy drinks with churros in. I think if I'd had more spoons this week would have been easier. It's just also because it's quite busy, everyone else is kind of a little bit stressed and anxious. And you know me, I am an emotional antenna. So I'm absorbing everybody else's anxiety and stress and tension. Which I didn't realise I was doing until I was talking to our strategy director on Thursday, and I suddenly went, oh, yeah. Because I'm used to like feeling shit if everyone's being toxic. That's not the case here. Everyone's like low-key kind of anxious because we just need to get some stuff over the line. And that's why I've been feeling really... I think that's why it's exacerbated my feeling of nauseousness. You entered the alpha that your team is increasingly neurodivergent and tired. I mean, honestly, sometimes I feel like maybe a lot of people in my company are neurodivergent. They just don't know it. There are several people that love to go off on nonsensical tangents in conversations, and I'm just listening going, I lost the plot like 10 minutes ago, but sure. There's several people I am definitely convinced are just undiagnosed or diagnosed with something different. But again, I'm not a psychologist, and I'm not going to butt in. But at some point, there's going to be another neurodiversity week, which I think is March next year. So maybe if, you know, stuff is shared that is like, and these are some, you know, neurodivergent traits, and, you know, how to look out for them and what to do if, you know, someone you're interacting with does that. And maybe people will be like, that sounds like me. But yeah. You know what? Lost my train of thought. It's fine. Or if he thinks I don't trust him. I swear, you and your elf are well matched. You always worry so much about what others think, instead of working out your own wants and needs. You do realize that's the important bit, right? I mean, generally, yes, I get that, but how does it apply here? What do you think it means to honor your partnership? To celebrate it properly, for starters. Right. And who are you in that partnership with? I believe you've met him, the blonde guy with the puppy eyes. Right, I'm glad you remember that, because you're making it sound like you're in a relationship with your friends who got married, and the strangers who put wedding pictures online, and your family who is paying for it and therefore has a whole bunch of obligations attached. This is your relationship you're celebrating. Why are you so concerned with other people's weddings? Your special day needs to make sense to the two of you. Have it in trainers at a fast food joint if that's what you like. That way you can also take the budget out of the equation. A simpler wedding won't feel shabby if you make it feel properly yours. I still have a pretty outfit and decent food. Thank goodness. Well taken. It's just, my family might have certain expectations. Take your family out of the equation! Did they openly say that? No. So maybe they do, or maybe you just think they do. It's the only way to find out is to talk to them. Besides, isn't Bailey's also about to become your family? You're sure the only family he's got? Not saying to disinvite everyone or to fight with them or anything, but you shouldn't put their needs above your own. I really shouldn't, should I? You give me food for thought. Thanks, Hyde. My pleasure. Amazing how you perk up when you give people advice, Hyde. You should be like something that gives advice, like a fortune teller. No, a psychiatrist, psychologist. That requires training. Therapist. Advice column? Ooh, advice columnist. Maybe you should become a therapist. Okay, fine, but you need training for that. Gee, thanks for the voice of confidence. I did say I might become a couples counsellor, but I agree with what you all implied. I don't think I'm quite tactful enough for that. Are you looking to change careers, Hyde? He's bored of modelling. Finds it too impermanent. Wants to leave a mark, wants to have fun. So just a very quick summary. Oh, I see. Well, is there any way you could make modelling fun again? I don't think so. Last time I had proper fun was maybe 20 years ago. What happened then? I was modelling a capsule collection for a young designer. She wanted to take her own pictures. She got a studio, logged the outfits there, found someone to do the makeups, and she whipped out an old film camera. Proper relic. I hadn't seen one like it since the 60s. My grandma has an old black and silver camera with 2 lenses. Is it something like that? Yeah, exactly like that. She said she preferred it because of the way it captures the light. And also because it was a slower experience. Something that would allow us to connect. At first I didn't think much of it. I started doing the usual pausing, switching, pausing some more. Something felt different, and I realized what it was. Most of the time we were just talking. She only took a picture once in a few minutes of that. Is that unusual? Yep, most fashion photographers take dozens of pictures in a row. I feel a bit sorry. I felt a bit sorry for her, to be honest. I thought she didn't know what she was doing. She was wasting our money. We had a great time and we got kind of friendly, I guess. Because at the end of it, she'd have been used up to the remaining exposures. I fooled around, shot some random stuff, and one portrait of her. Then she suggested I come with her to the dark room. Watch how she developed her pictures and as they came out. You always did have a fondness for dark places. Comes with his territory. But as for the pictures, well, they were gorgeous. First of all, I looked really like me, you know. I knew I could recognize. But that's not even what stuck with me the most. It's the care she put into processing each frame, working each picture through the chemical baths, hanging them, drying them. It was like watching a magic ritual. And her portrait, when she saw it, she got a bit emotional. She said she was used to being on the other side of the camera. It was the first time she really liked a portrait someone took of her. I'm in a weird place these days. Oh, I know the feeling. It's not like me to tell these kinds of tales. To launch into sopping monologues, really. Just forget it. No, I think it's a beautiful story. It gives me an idea. I think I have another career for you. Please share, Lua. You've been doing both of us a solid. Go on, sir. Well, maybe it's because I've looked at so many of them recently. But apparently film is making a big comeback for wedding pictures. It's what you said, it captures the light beautifully. And it's more personal, slower approach. Maybe you could try that. Who? Me? No, the other vampire is looking for a line of work. I think you've got the wrong guy here, Lord. I know I'm disgustingly sentimental these days, but I'm not that far gone. Attending one wedding gives me cavities, let alone several per month. Oh well, forget about it then. No, don't forget about it at all. Perfect for you, come on, Hyde. I know you like to be very strong and sarcastic, but you are sentimental. You love to chat people up. You'd solve all the bridesmaids' drama and offend the parents. But most importantly, you do something for those people that they'd never forget. They'd look at your pics their whole lives. If that's not leaving a mark, I don't know what is. You're assuming they won't get divorced. I don't know if this is the right topic for Miss Law. It's alright, I know some marriages end in divorce, but that doesn't change anything, does it? Whether a marriage lasts for a few months or several decades, the wedding is still an unforgettable moment in someone's life. That could in the mafia, so we're looking up. You're hopeless. Falling asleep in my chair now, so I'm gonna head back. Do whatever you want, you thick schooled vampire. Just don't stay out too late, okay? Yeah, alright. That's my cue as well. I have some thinking to do. Maybe some talking. Thanks again, Hyde. And good luck. I hope your next adventure is a good one. It will be. Good night, Laura. Good night, Joe. See you later. Good night, you two. Here we go again. Last one sitting. Indeed. Proper night owls. You didn't say anything about that wedding photographer idea. It's ridiculous, right? That's not for me to see, but I wouldn't call it ridiculous. It sounds like you enjoyed the whole film photography experience. You do like being around people, don't you? I do, sometimes, but I'm not a romantic. We'll get married, they think they're taking first step into forever. Well, there's no such thing as forever. Everyone ends up disappointed in some way, and then next thing you know... I don't want to sound depressing. So you don't believe in love? Of course I do, but only in a certain kindness. You can choose to keep supporting someone to enjoy their company. You can do that for years, with friends, families, lovers. But at the end of the day, you're still you, a separate person. And they're still them. There's no two souls becoming one, not really. I'd know the one time I tried, it really didn't work out. But do you regret trying? No, I guess I don't. To confirm for me that marriage, as you like, is never going to be my thing. There's freedom in knowing about myself. It's given me space to build other relationships that work better. But at the same time, when I see people who truly believe it, people who walk into it willing to share their lives so closely, even if for most of them it won't pan out. There's something beautiful there. Like watching a butterfly fly too close to a flame, or a flower bloom like it never will wilt. Well, in my case, I singed off my wings, but I am still here. And on that day, for that minute when I said we'd be together forever and I meant it, I sure felt alive. If you know all that, then you must also know that that's something worth celebrating, and something worth helping other people celebrate. You're a tricksy one, Joe. And I'm too tired to fight your logic, which means it's time for me to head back. Of course, Mr. Hyde. I meant to say I appreciate our one-to-one chats. I hope we can keep providing you with a comfortable space here. Oh, it's plenty comfortable for sure. Besides, well, it all boils down to this, doesn't it? The way time passes for me is very different from anyone else I know. Oh, I updated that. Okay, lover of the bright moonlight, believer in life without a fight. Fan of art and poetry. Working 9 to 5 in a trading company by day, going to poetry readings and museums on the weekend, and are aptitude to buy the forbidden fruit. Guess where I am? Sure as hell I don't know. Oh dear, I shouldn't like that. You're drunk, dude. The way time passes for me is very different from anyone else I know. Thank goodness Gallo is from a long-living species. But even then, he'll grow old before I do eventually. The world will change 100 times, technologies will die out, new technologies will come. I will feel again the way I feel now in a century, maybe two. Lua and Gallo won't be around to give me advice. The world won't wait for me. But you will. Am I right, Joe? Dot, dot, dot. That is very perceptive, you Mr. Hyde. You've grown to know me quite well. It's only fair I know you a little in return. I suppose that's true. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. To continuing our story. It's nice to know that no matter how much time passes, there's always going to be someone here rooting for me. Thanks for your trust, Mr. Hyde. You'll make sure it's not misplaced. I know you will. And on that note, I guess I'm going to go browse for some film cameras. Oh! It's gonna go find him and pick him up, I guess. Bless her. So, yeah, it was implied at the end of the first game that we're an alien of some sort. Was also some time travel malarkey. I am very tempted to go back to the first game and or maybe watch my video. I don't know. I feel like I want to recap the first game somewhat, but there was implication that we are an alien of some kind. We used we just then. Are we more like Silver and a collective? I don't know, maybe we'll find out. But apparently, we live for a really long time. Or maybe we just exist in all moments at once. Like that guy in Men in Black. With the hat. You can just see everything all at the same time. All the possible futures. What's the worst that can happen? Well, that was a Dr. Pepper advert. They've had many permutations of it. Indeed. And take care of yourself, friends. And you as well. So yeah, I wonder if we will get any more information about the whole... The world won't eat for you, Mr. Hyde, but some of us will. Okay, 299.792.45 8. Faster mate, faster drink, and the best start to a light year guided activity. It looks like it's got butter in it. That's ginger. Is that a star date? What are we looking? Okay, I think one more day and we'll call it. I'm tired, but I don't want to... If we do 3 days in a thing, so we'll do Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, so there are 15 days. Day 10. Day 10, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, maybe. We'll see what time it is after we finish day 10. As to whether we should fit in day 11, so we've got one more stream left. Okay, but the paracetamol seems to be kicking in a bit. I just got a really stiff neck. That always happens. This is why I want to be Liquid Joe and just be like, I'm going to merge with the sofa. Okay, Thursday, September 28th, 2023. A week or so ago. New image recognition tech confuses gnomes with dwarves. A review. Ah, so IR is still racist. Even in this alternate reality. Robots asked to give ultimate advice. Elven burnout is real. Here's how to avoid it. Good evening. Here we go. Right, let's I delivery today, we're doing tomorrow. Spent almost 2 hours checking on the mobile games in the app store. The amount of copycat games is just staggering, yeah. Top of the morning to you all, hungover but feeling awesome. Gail always has her secrets. Okay, not so many stories today. Rachel comes back. And Bailey's and Aqua, and we're still building up our friendship with Rio now. I was just talking to myself, Leakies. That's fine. I'm glad you have got yourself a coffee. It's only taken you 2 hours. On top of the Ferris wheel. It's finally our turn to ride the Ferris wheel. She grabbed my hand tight, excitedly pulling me into the faded pink gondola. A small hand felt cold on my skin. Before it was warm, the slightest touch of us used to warm my universe, used to excite me, but when she pulled me into the seat beside her, it felt cold. I knew I was the one who had changed. I was the one that could no longer feel her warmth. The Ferris wheel finally moved. She stared at the lake beside the wheel as we went slowly upwards. The Ferris wheel is amazing, right? I feel like it's taking us to a world separate from our own, a world just for the two of us, She began a conversation. I replied with a very faint smile. Hey, pretty boy, want in on a secret? I love you. My smile was so sincere, it was painful to receive these words. I didn't say anything, I couldn't say anything. She didn't wait for a reply. A long silence passed as she turned back to the scenery laid on the other side of the window. I knew she was hiding her face from me. The Ferris wheel was halfway to the top now, still climbing ever so slowly. I tried to find the words I wanted to say to her. It's the softest way to break someone's heart. When we reached the top of the Ferris wheel, it stopped, like it was supposed to. For a moment, our time was frozen on the tip of the world. Hey, can we talk? Words finally found the courage to come out of my mouth. I know exactly what you want to say. You've been holding it in for months now, right? That same sincere smile. She should have kept the smile from someone who could love her as she loved me. Not for someone who was about to break her heart. I'm sorry. I thought I was ready for this, but I was just pretending. Silly, huh? It's not my fault. It's not. It's my fault. I'm sorry. She tried to fake a laugh. Her eyes were wet behind her glasses, bedewed by her tears. You deserve someone better, not me. I'm sorry. Hey, can you pretend a little longer too? At least not up here, please. I cursed the universe for letting her love the wrong person. The Ferris wheel creaked softly, signaling its movement, this time downward. Oh, that's depressing. Good evening. Officer, welcome. Hey, Joe. How you doing? Officer? Oh. Hey, sorry. My mind's kind of elsewhere right now. No worries, work issues? What else? I'm all ears if you want to chat. I might be all ears, I don't know. You're a pal. You're buying, Joe. What happened? Well, never-ending workplace issues aside, things are getting weirder by the minute and I'm feeling out my depth. Are you talking about your recent patrols? Yeah. Been analysing the CCTV footage the last couple of days. Oh, I see. How did that go? Did the cameras manage to capture anything? Yes and no. The infrareds caught a couple of blurry things. They ran off, turned a corner and disappeared. Could have been anything like rats or cats. But neither fits with what I heard on the scene. The footsteps, you know, the laughter. It's fairies! Come to think of it, it sounded more like giggles. Giggles? Can werewolves giggle? Not that size, no. Even if they could, it doesn't explain the footsteps, really. I see. Do you know where the state is from? France! Oh dear, bad joke. I see. So what's next? I have some ideas, but they're just wild theories at this point. In short, I'm stumped. You know, Joe. Been racking my brain ever since Miss Riona dropped that bomb about the fairies, you see. Ooh, what about them? Turns out fairies was an umbrella term for many types of being. Anything that didn't fit the known physical rules at the time was referred to as such. Ooh, does that mean banshees were a part of the fairy folk? Probably. Not anymore though. It's an ongoing process, but the list is getting shorter. Back then, any sentient being that was even remotely incomprehensible was considered that. And that includes apparitions. Apparitions? Yeah. Apparitions like ghosts. Ghosts? Ghosts. I see. Do you mean I see? Huh? Doesn't it sound like a bad joke to you? I'm not sure I follow. Bud, come on, ghosts don't exist. Do they? As if they do. All I can think about is that damn tree now. Alright, the tree. Does that mean it's haunted? It could be. Oh, excuse me. Don't get how you can be so calm about this. Huh? Oh, well, why wouldn't I be? I mean, there's been all sorts of customers here. Some of them are so out of this world even. Sometimes literally. You're right. I guess you're not the only one who's being weird here. Don't say that. Everyone's got their own peccadillos. True that. You don't mind telling me though. That's the reason you're so afraid of ghosts? Gosh, no. It's a long story. Not something I'm ready to talk about. It's understandable. All you need to know is my fear was never caused by actual ghosts. Ooh. Suggestion is a very powerful thing, Joe. But that's all I'm willing to share for now. Okay, thanks for sharing. You know, it's funny. My grandpa was into this very stuff. So's my daughter. They're like my opposites, very curious and fascinated by the unknown. Not that I'm not, Jew. It's just in my time as a cop and all, known variables usually mean trouble. I see, that makes sense. They're the kind of people who could see things from nothing. And I mean that in the best way possible. Like, you know, the Zen rock garden thing from Japan. They understood the zenness of it. I don't, but that doesn't stop me from thinking it's chill, you know. I think you almost caught it? Yeah. I'm sure you and my daughter could talk about it for hours. Too bad he passed away before he was born. Before she was born. I'm sorry to hear that. Don't be. On that note, Joe, you've seen my lighter, right? I'd say I'm pretty well acquainted with it now, yes? My bad. The thing was originally my grandpop's. I don't have it right now, though. He brought it sometime after the war ended. It was to commemorate the upcoming new era, he said. More ways than one. He got honorably discharged due to severe leg injury he'd never be able to recover from. Ah. At the time, he was living right across the street from the former town hall. For obvious reasons, he couldn't walk far. So it was a good location for him, with all the veterans support nearby and all. Right? Now about that street, you see, my grandpa liked to chat. Never liked being alone, that guy, plus he pretty much hated his bleak room. So sometimes he'd go hang out with the street vendors in front of his place. All kinds of beings there, along with their pets from all walks of life. That's why he had a lot of stories about the craziest things. Ah, I see. You see, the street names just come to my mind last night. You take a guess what it is? You mean Bourne Street? Wasn't called that before, that's why the whole thing didn't click for me straight away. But I went through his files and it checks out. Does that mean the vendors he was talking about? Bingo. And you know what? He bought the lighter there. Wow, what a coincidence. Are you sure it's only a coincidence? Do you mean? Come on. You know why they're just coincidences, Joe. It's lining up too perfectly if you ask me. It's a game. It's going to do that. Uh-oh. Think about what's happened so far. It's my team that found out about the vandalism before they dumped the old case on me. Then my car was hit out of everyone's. Right? And my look started tanking. The broken mug, the fan, the black cat. There's tons of weird stuff happening in the past week alone, you see. Right. And one thing led to another. My team was chosen to lead this investigation. And tell me, who's in charge of the case? Me. And there's the Banshee lady, your patron, with information I wouldn't have thought of. The dead tree stuff, the fairy market, information I wouldn't even have remembered on my own. Right? And now we know why I kept losing my lighter, right? Not connected, tell me. Well, if you list them in order like that. I'm telling you, Joe, this place is calling for me. This is made for me. They really picked the wrong guy. Just real bad at dealing with spooks. They make me question everything I've ever known, you know. But I've always thought you're pretty good at handling ambiguity, officer. When it comes to supernatural stuff, because you don't know enough about what's real and what's not. What will they do? Will they hurt us? Do they bring bad luck, good luck? What's the truth? Who knows? Maybe you should take a day off and catch up on your sleep. Huh? What's that? Nothing. You know, another patron of mine suggested a documentary to watch. Excuse me. Yeah, the focus was on interesting drinks from around the world. You could find everything from the mundane to the extreme. From iced coffee. Oh no, it's don't stop. Mundane to the extreme, from local comforts to really special stuff. And I kept thinking of one particular drink that might interest you. Ooh. It's something like a protection drink. It's made of coffee, honey, lemon, and a slew of other ingredients. Huh? Protection from what, though? From evil spirits and bad luck, I think. Maybe it'll help ease your mind a bit. Ah, gotcha. But Joe, even if the whole situation is haunted, there shouldn't be any evil spirits. Right? I wouldn't, but I might need your lighter. For? Well, the drink needs to be lit up. I just think your lighter might give it that extra magic boost it needs. Compared to just using a regular flame, I mean. What are you going to make me anyway? Ha, nah, I trust you. Here. Officer George's lighter. Makes this an interesting feel. Okay, then make me this magical drink you've learned, Joe. Is it coffee, honey, and lemon? Ow. It is actually on fire. Wow. Drink does light up, huh? Yep, well, this is special just for you. So don't tell anyone. Roger that. Here you go. Oof, careful. Dang, Joe. There's really something else. You sure it's okay to drink? I have no idea. But I'll take responsibility if anything happens. Huh. Huh. How is it on fire? Coffee, honey and lemon. Oh, it's alcohol imbued. That's why it's on fire. I'm just being silly, aren't I? Sorry for bothering you with all this stuff, Joe. You even made me this crazy drink to make me feel better. Don't see that. Always happy to help however I can. Thanks. Man. At least with crooks you can actually deal directly with them, you know. Not the case with apparitions. And with that attitude... Huh? Who are you? Everything can be caught with a little elbow grease. Hard-boiled advice. Is that a Ghostbuster? Am I missing a reference? This is a new character, right? Not actual elbow grease, I won't make that mistake again. McQueen? Is that you? Hello, Williams. It's been a while. Huh, it is you. Surprise just keeps on coming this week. Let me go over there. We know each other? More or less. We were brunch buddies. Brunch buddies? Brunch buddies. I feel like I meant to say brunch buddies in that same serious tone. But I don't like to talk about it. I still get nightmares. I feel ya. I wasn't sure we were going to make it out alive. We were truly the lucky ones. I'm not getting the reference. Though McQueen, like Steve McQueen? Like... I don't know. Anyway, without a doubt. I'll just take both your words for that. Good. Because I don't like to talk about it. So what brings you up here, detective? Surely it's not the coffee. Secret police reasons. I've not read the briefing yet. But enough about me. Tell me about your supernatural problems. Yeah? Need to bust a ghost? Oh. Well, busting might be a bit too much. Just talking to Joe about getting over my fear of that stuff. And ghosts. Something like that. I'm weak against ghostly looking stuff. I get freaked out easily. For example, I admit I got a little spooked by what happened on Bourne Street the other day. I remember that. Huh. I know very well that unchecked fear leads to prejudice. That's why it's a no-no in my book. It even pains me to admit that out loud. Sometimes the toughest keys to crack is ourselves. Other times it's ghosts. How do you do it, detective? Your case is mad. I'd probably have lost all my hair by now if I were you. Trying to think about all that much. And when I do think about it, I think, who else will do it? Nobody, that's who? Yeah, that makes sense. You know, once you get over the dead part, they're just like you and me. Look, I remember this one case. We were investigating a haunted apartment. This lady, her husband had recently passed away but wasn't moving on, if you get my drift. Real deadbeat, couldn't take a hint. Anyway, we had to go in and exorcise the place, right? The husband, he caught wind and was retreated into the basement. I won't get into the technicalities of it, but it's harder to get a ghost out of a basement or an attic. It's all about angles, really. I mean, I get it. Used to be his home, all his stuff is still there. It's hard, I get that. So I'm slowly going down the stairs to try and coax him out. Bam! Next minute, all this romantic music was playing. The whole place is lit by a spotlight. Basic sensory illusions, classic ghost tricks. And before I knew what hit me, I'm sitting in this pot of free will and he's behind me and... Oh! I know that's a voice. It's that pixelated detective. Yeah. Well, that's a reference to the Whoopi Goldberg movie with the guy from Dirty Dancing. It is actually just called Ghost. Yeah, but I'm trying to think of the name of the freaking Patrick Swayze. And I forget the lady actor's name. Whoopi Goldberg, Ghost. That's what he's referring to with the pottery wheel. But also McQueen. Is that from Dark Side Detective? Yeah. No, I remember that, but why is Dark Side Detective? Is it the same people that made Kapora Games? Francis McQueen was the main character. Apparently, there's a thing from Toji Productions saying Dark Side Detective in... We collaborate with Akapura Games and Spooky Doorway, brew coffee for Detective Francis McQueen and Officer Patrick Dooley. Oh my god. And then you can meet Freya and Gala in Fumble in the Dark. Oh my god, of course you can. They're in the freaking cafe. But I hadn't clicked on that. I'm sorry. It's a crossover episode, yeah. I'm just really bad with remembering names of things. Also, I really just need a very quick break. Okay. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Go get a snack or something. Says something about Columbo. Hang on, let me scroll back on my chat. I mean, he is sort of dressed like Columbo anyway. But it's just, I think it's because he's got a face. McQueen and Dooley don't have faces in Darkside because they're pixels. So there we go. Wait. Yes. Isn't this the plot of the 1990 film Ghost? Maybe. Actually, McQueen was Scottish when I did the Dark Side. Oh well, if I'd twigged sooner, I'd have made him Scottish. We had a movie night at work and I dozed off before it started. The story must have slipped in my subconscious. Riveting. It's gotta be Dooley then. But... oh my god, he looks weird with a face. Hey, detective. Hey, people I don't know. Did you get your important errand sorted? I sure did. Dooley, I can see crumbs stuck to your face. It's just the rain. It's very bready rain. There's filling all over your top. That's blood from a gunshot wound. It's healed up though. You're literally holding a receipt from the donut shop. That's why they pay you the big bucks, detective. So what'd I miss? We're talking about getting rid of Officer Williams' fear of ghosts. Hey. Ghosts? Yeah, you're afraid of them, right, Dooley? No, my dear, never met one. We stopped the ghost riot. Ghosts aren't real. So you don't need to be scared of them. Easy. There you go, I guess. Sorry, that wasn't much help. Nah, what you said, that they're just like us. It's a good thing to be reminded of. Exactly, they used to be alive just like us. As long as they don't try and eat, possess, violently murder you, you should be fine. Very reassuring. Just talk to them. Feel their culture, listen to their issues and spectral wails. Treat them like any other person. See what's on the inside. Which should be easy because you can see right through them. I thought you didn't believe in ghosts. It's best not to overthink anything he says. I certainly don't. Well, thanks for the advice. I think it'll help. Ah, pleasure. Now, Dooley, I think we should read that case briefing and find out why we're here. I already did. Oh? Turns out we were meant to arrest the person driving that taxi. Instead of taking it all the way to Seattle, yes. Why? Driver was a chupacabra. Okay, let's get out of here, Dooley. Good luck, officer. Thanks, McQueen. A lot. You too, Officer Dooley. Bye, Guy. Good luck with your rat problem or whatever. Bye, Coffee Wizard. Tika? You didn't even have coffee. That was weird. That was quite something. Well, what do you know, Joe? Looks like my good luck's back. I'm feeling like $1,000,000 now. I'm very glad you do. Thanks anyway, Joe. I really did nothing much. Are you going to be your key? Okay, enough to start thinking about what to do next. I'm done here for the night. You have a good evening, alright? Please keep me updated, officer, and stay safe. Do. Short day? Alright then. Maybe I'll go check the stock and... Cat? No. Rihanna. Miss Rihanna! Welcome. Hello. How's the traffic out there? It's a mess. There's construction work taking place on Leonora Avenue. Oof. Can imagine the gridlock already. Fortunately, I have no deliveries to make today. That's great, I'm happy you're here. So anything I make for you this evening? I'd like something for my throat. I'd appreciate a cup of tea infused with some lemon and a touch of honey. Oh, they're all so pretty. Got an extra Rihanna one. Ooh. Singer. Groover. Part-time. A cup of warm Midsummer Night's Dream for you, miss? That's what we call it here. How whimsical. It's wonderful. Sweet but well balanced with the lemon, and the slight bitterness of the tea completes the taste. Thank you. You're so very welcome. By the way, you just missed Officer Georgie by a few seconds. Is that so? How is he? He's been thinking about what you said quite a bit, actually. Oh? He's got me dealing with plenty of clues he isn't used to. That's why he's hard at work at the moment. I see. Would you mind doing me a favour? Ooh, what do you need? Would you give my contact information to him? We only connected via Bluetooth last time, so... Oh. An email address and phone number written belonging to Riona Sharon. Contact infos. Okay, we can do that. What I said a few days ago might have been a bit overwhelming. It's possible that I spoke more than was necessary. And because I couldn't help but feel a pang of bitterness knowing what happened to the tree. That's entirely understandable, though. It is not my intention to interfere with his work. As such, if he requires any assistance, please do let me know. It's the least I could do, as I realise there could be plenty of difficulty obtaining information. Well, I mean, because Officer Georgie is a human, and we semi-physical beings have our own way of sharing information as such. I understand what you mean. Okay. I just do not wish to incriminate or anything or anyone. That's fine, I get it. I'm glad. Alright. I'd see you've already helped him out in more ways than one. Sorry, did you say something? I'm zoning out a little. No, nothing. I'll pass this off to him. Thank you. You're welcome. Bad traffic aside, how are you? I'm, to be honest, I've had a lot on my mind of late. I don't know how to express it without sounding pathetic. You know, I'm all ears. At some point, this camera is going to turn around and it's just going to be a giant person made of ears. Or a person-shaped ear. Maybe I have multiple ears, or big ears like a bunny. May actually be part of the problem, I am afraid. Pardon? You know, I've held conversations with more individuals over the past week than I have in the past few years. Is that a good or a bad thing? It's troubling. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I don't mean it necessarily in a bad way. It's just, I used to believe I had a settled life objective. But I have been doubting it lately. How come? I finally heard back from Miss Rachel yesterday. Ooh, any good news? No. Our fields are admittedly quite different, so I was not expecting much. However, she provided me with some contacts who might be of assistance, even though they had no direct connection to the audience I'm trying to reach. I see. She explained clearly why she thinks I should contact the club, which I am thankful for. That's very thoughtful of her. So what's the battle plan? And why are you doubting yourself? In essence, the advice is to slowly increase my network, to make myself known. Ooh, sounds familiar, doesn't it? You can probably guess my concern about it. I think so, but you could give me a refresher, just so I don't misunderstand. I feel like that would be a shortcut, so to speak. Right. She did, however, remind me of an important handling fact. What would that be? Well, but it's not guaranteed you'll get anything out of it, don't you think? Unless you're really, really sure the so-called shortcut is 100% going to work. Because you'd have to do way, way more than just making a few calls and waiting for callbacks, you know. I'd say that's a decent impression for her. Thank you. After that, she told me a story about her early career experiences, both the good and the bad. Getting noticed is truly only the beginning. And it's either a matter of letting your talent speak for you, or you go out there and develop the right connections with the right people. Even then, there's still no guarantee of success. After listening to her explanation, I respect Miss Rachel's determination. I can certainly see how it worked out for her. But then I was left wondering whether Mr. Lucas meant something similar during our first meeting. Right, I thought it all sounded familiar. Will you try her suggestion then? I don't know. Is it difficult? No more difficult than sending reels to every audition I've come across. I'm being rejected by every single one, but for some reason I feel conflicted about it. Good evening, Mr. Lucas. He and I have also continued our correspondence, although perhaps it was more like a necessity. Ooh, did something happen? He was stuck. Pardon? Actually, he posted about it on social media last night. Ooh. I might have seen it. Did you? I came across it while I was updating my schedule and responded out of concern. Then he called me almost immediately. He was, loud. All sounds in order? And extremely drunk. Right. He denied it at first, but it was too obvious not to notice. He told me he was walking aimlessly, deep in thought, and entered Kerry Park without realising he had done so. Must have been some deep thinking he was doing, because I think it had rained pretty hard last night. Well, I wouldn't know. The bus to and from there is currently not operating after 10 PM. Which is why I sent him a message informing him of that fact, as he seemed to be unaware of it. Right. So he called me to ask if there was any other mode of public transit nearby. Wouldn't it have been easier for him to just call a cab? He told me he wanted to know the city better. At midnight? Why not? After all, you operate your business after dark yourself. Touché. Perhaps he just didn't want to go home yet. And I might be mistaken here, but I thought he didn't like drinking. Wasn't it partying? Nevertheless, I think last night was different. Huh? It appears he had dinner with his team. He needed extra courage in order to negotiate with him about his proposed new direction. Oh. I see. I suppose it didn't go as expected. Perhaps. I know that feeling all too well. However, he said he will keep negotiating until they reach a compromise. It's good. Is it though? Miss Rachel told me about the hoops she had to jump through at the beginning of her career with her teammates as well. Likewise, Mr. Lucas has to work hard to obtain approval from his team for his actions. How can they still be so positive? What do you mean? I just cannot picture myself convincing others to give me a chance like that. I almost wanted to ask, why do we have to be at the mercy of others in order to succeed or fail? Can't talent speak for itself? Some can, but generally no. But if I truly believed that, with the number of rejections I've received so far, I should have stopped a long time ago, shouldn't I? Right, that's why it doesn't work that way. What do you mean? To let talent speak for itself, we would have to all have the same standards. I see what you mean. Art would cease to be art if it was standardized, wouldn't it? However, doesn't that imply that everything still depends on the whims of the individual judging you at that moment? How does someone like Miss Rachel or Mr. Lucas manage to be fine with that? Perhaps because they don't see it as the be-all and end-all? What do you mean? Rather than viewing them as judges with the authority to determine their fates. Perhaps they simply see them as hills to either overcome or avoid, if that makes sense. Just a matter of perspective as to where the power lies. It's not easy to climb those hills, especially if you've never done it before. Therefore, it's good to try and find out what works for you, or ask for guidance or assistance even. Because one can't possibly know every single way to overcome obstacles, and be able to safely recognize warning signs without first learning about them from others. Is that what you're trying to say? I see. Still. Mystery Honor? Ah, yes. Sorry, I got a bit lost in my thoughts. You're fine, I promise. But speaking of Mr. Lucas, what happened to him after the call? Picked him up and drove him home. Whoa! But I thought you located in Bellevue? I am. But I still had unfinished business in the downtown area. I've recently began singing quite loudly near the end of our call, which led me to conclude that it would be best for me to go and fetch him. I see. How was the singing, in your opinion? It wasn't too bad. If not for the fact he was screaming most of the lyrics, that is. Oh. Said he was soaked when I arrived, so he had to take it off before getting into my car. Thankfully, the water did not completely soak through to his shirt, so he remained relatively dry. However, I still had to lay down the seat covers as his fur got rather wet. Ah. Hope he didn't get sick then. Aside from all that, was he okay? Considering the situation you mentioned earlier, I mean. Well, he happily asked me to do karaoke with him, which I declined. Probably for the best. It's been entertaining, though. I ended up taking him for a drive, though, as I needed to take care of my unfinished business. A late night delivery. I was buying a pie. At midnight? Why? Concerned you may have a competitor? No, not at all. Maybe a little bit. But it's pie, I don't sell pie. Oh, Joe, you will be fine. I sort of want to know just so I can inform Officer Georgie about it. Oh, why? His daughter loves pies. When his car was vandalised, Officer Georgie had plans to buy pies for his family's get-together, but the report took a while and the weather was bad. And by the time he was able to get a taxi, I thought everything was already closed. I see. But he takes pride in being a Seattleite, so I wonder if he knows about it already. There is a very small kiosk attached to a pub, very easy to miss. The spot's known as Disco Pie, and it serves fresh pies until 1 AM. Pie. Interesting, good to know, thanks. Getting back to the story though, you both went for pies then? Yeah, and that seemed to fascinate him for some reason. What did you get? He ordered a slice of warm apple crumble with a scoop of French vanilla ice cream on top. not technically a pie. Sits in a crust. And a large cup of piping hot coffee with a little bit of milk. Ouch. I feel betrayed, truly. Oh, it was my suggestion since I thought he needed to warm up. Double ouch. I apologise. I'll live. Little piece of advice though, a glass of warm water might be better for the inebriated. Coffee's not the best at retaining fluids and thus preventing hangovers. Oh, that's really good information to know. This is why you're the best barista, Joe. Thank you. Okay, my feelings are hurt slightly less now. And what did you get for yourself? A slice of hibiscus blueberry mint pie myself. Ooh. I can't tell whether that would be nice or not, mainly because I can't eat blueberries at the moment. Or any more, possibly. That would be a very tart pie. That would probably taste a little bit like toothpaste. And just so you know, I did not order anything to drink. Good. Aha. Drinks aside, what an interesting combination for a pie. How did you like it? Enjoyed it. You serve hibiscus here too, don't you? I remember to order it next time. Please do. And so we continued our conversation afterwards. That was when he told me he had not given up on his goal despite the many disappointments with his team. He also told me why he does not drive at all. Really? Why? It is private. It's private, right? On the second thought, it may be better to hear the story directly from him another time. I apologise. No problem, I understand. We also discussed quite a few things we have in common. Really? Yes, surprisingly. Before we knew it, it was already nearing 5 AM. Must have been a gripping conversation. I am not sure. However, his exhaustion seemed to finally catch up with him then, so I drove him home. Weren't you tired as well? No. I should go now. Alright, will you be okay? I have a lot to think about. Thank you for being patient with my concerns, Joe. No problem at all, anytime. Have a good evening then, Joe. Come back again soon. Espresso. Blacker than a moonless night. Hotter and more bitter than hell itself. So dramatic. I don't even like coffee. Okay, so it's 6. We've done 3 days. I know I said I was going to do, because we have 5 left, but maybe it just is an extra stream. Or maybe it'll turn out the days will be shorter next time. I think if I continue, I'm going to start falling asleep in the tea. Though it was a good call on myself taking the paracetamol because I ache a lot less. I just still feel overwhelmingly tired. So much to do. I have so much to do. So much to do. So much to do. And of course, because I've got so much to do, executive dysfunction will rear its ugly head with the tiredness and the lack of the spoons and be like, you're going to be very anxious about all the stuff you have to do, but you're not going to do any of it. So today I'm just going to take some rest, and tomorrow I will try and do one thing. Friday, September 29th, 2023. That was last Friday. Alien sightings increase. Is this an invasion? No. Lisa's pretty. Researcher responds over alleged algae invasion. Dwarfera tech teams up with Golomix Industries to produce self-healing concrete technology. Oh. It's a teddy bear. Where did that come from? And Bailey's hair. Okay, so we're going to save. Menu. conversation with Detective McQueen. Cool, so that was an unlockable thing. I like that. Right. Okay, so Coffee Talk, episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly. It's on Game Pass right now, but I did get a copy of this game for streaming purposes. Okay, and I do not know whether tomorrow is going to have a stream, and if it does, what it is. So hang out in the Discord and I will update. But I'm gonna head off now and figure out what I want to do. Either I'm just gonna collapse into the sofa. I need to figure out when I'm doing food. I do think a bath would be a nice idea. Bubble bath and hot chocolate. But yeah, for now, I'm done with the day. Well, done with Coffee Talk at least. Thank you everyone for being here. Thanks to Mr. Corners for the resub. My Xbox homepage is telling me that Dan is 145G ahead of me. So excuse me while I go and end some more game score. But yeah, no, for now I'm just going to head off. I've been Joe, otherwise known as Angel SK. I may be back tomorrow. I don't know what it'll be. It might be, I don't know. Like we're taking a little bit of time off from streams just to get some stuff back, but also I've got things I want to stream. So it's a balance. We'll see. For now, bye bye, and have a good rest of your weekend if I don't see you before.